Hello, welcome to episode 355. We're doing lightable torches, but we've updated to the new component system, and we're going to add a timer, and we're going to be able to light them with a flint or with flaming arrows. So, when you're building the map, you come around with your little eggs, and you place down your torches. There we go, they're my torches. If I right-click on them with empty hand, nothing. If I use flint and steel, they'll light. And we've added a timer, so they won't stay alight for very long. There we go. And we can also light them with our bow and arrow drill. Okay, so you can make a Zelda sort of map. You can have to light all the torches in the room, and you can just do execute if block at coordinates equals torch. And if they all do, then, I don't know, open the door. Play that nice little secret found sound. Okay, well, I missed. That was a bad shot. So what I've done them as separate little things here for the timer and for the arrow. We can light them all, and they can go out. And then once you've built the map, you don't need the place and remove eggs. Let's do one remove just to check it works. Yes, it does. So you don't need that. This little controller here is checking if the block underneath it breaks. And if it does, it gets rid of it. And it also gets rid of the interaction entity as well. Okay, so if you're on an adventure map, the player can't break the torch, so you might not even want that turned on. Up to you. Anyway, it's going to be a long episode, so let's not waffle. Let's get straight on and build it now. Oh, I will say, obviously we're in the newer version using components, and thank you to GalSergey for help with the commands. Okay, first thing we're going to need is some scoreboard objectives. So let's have scoreboard objectives, add lit click. Have I clicked on the interaction entity? This will be a dummy. And the reason why we're doing a score is because we're going to say we're going to put a 0 in there if we're not holding a flint and steel, and we'll put a 1 if we are. So this is going to be our setup. Now put a button on top, control middle mouse to copy that block and the command, chain always active, lit switch. And this is going to save whether the state of the torch has changed. Has it gone from off to on or from on to off? Okay, let's create them. Now I'm going to want 2 spawn eggs so we can create and remove the torches. Give egg, place a torch. Give egg, remove a torch. Okay, so I'll give nearest player a slime spawn egg. New system, so we need components. Entity data equals. We'll need an ID, which will be a Minecraft marker, and it will require some tags. One tag, it will be torch place. Okay, I'm going to copy all that. Paste it in there. This will be torch remove, and we're also going to give it an extra tag of just torch. You'll see where we use that later. And since it's removing, let's make it red, a red egg. Let's switch it to a strider. Done. Okay, bump. Let's have one of them. Let's have one of them. Now let's make some controllers. Now I'm going to keep the placing and removing controllers separate, because the idea being the developer has these turned on. So here we go. These are our controllers. Developer has them turned on to place the eggs, and then you turn them off afterwards because the player is not going to be using the eggs. Less commands running. Okay, so this will be controller place and controller remove. Right, placing the egg. I'm going to execute at any entity whose type equals marker, whose tag equals torch place. I'm going to run, I'm going to summon an interaction at those coordinates, and let's give it some information. It's going to have some tags. It's going to have 2 tags. It's going to have the same tag as the remove egg. It's going to have torch, anything to do with the torches. And we're going to have torch base. If the player clicks on it, I want their arm to move, so response is going to be true. I want its height and width to be a little bit bigger than a torch, so width will be 0.251 and its height will be 0.63. I want it also to have passenger. Passengers. There's my list of passengers. We've got one passenger. Oops, we've got none at the moment. There we go. Now we've got one passenger. My passenger needs an ID. It's going to be a Minecraft block display. It's going to have some tags. It's going to be part of the torch. That's the only tag it needs. And it's going to need some transformation. The only thing we want to change in transformation is the translation, but we have to put it all in anyway. And we'll put a block state in. So we'll leave transformation empty for the moment, and let's put the block state in. Block state. Block state requires a name. Its name will be Minecraft Redstone Torch. But I want the torch to be unlit. So we'll have to give it some properties as well. Properties. Lit. False. So that doesn't say false. Okay, so it's an unlit torch. Right, now let's do this transformation information. First we'll have to put in this everything. Left. Rotation is going to be default 0F, 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 1F. Right rotation is also going to be default 0F, 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 1F. Translation, this is the one we're changing. We need to center it on the block, so we need minus 0.5 on the X. And we need nothing on the Y. And minus 0.5 on the Z. And we need scale. Scale. We're not changing the scale, so that will be default. Okay, they're done. Long command, they're in the description. Now, I'm going to summon a light block there as well. So I'm going to execute at any entity whose type equals marker, tag equals torch place, and I'm going to run set block at those coordinates a light with a level equals 0, and I'm going to kill the marker. So I think we just do kill any entity whose type equals marker, tag equals interesting spelling of torch, place. Done. Let's turn that on. Fingers crossed. Looks good. Interaction around the outside. We've got an unlit redstone torch. Okay, let's do the remove then. So we're going to drop the egg on it. We want to set block to air in case there's a real torch there, and we want to remove any of those entities and the remove egg marker itself. So let's execute at any entity whose type equals marker, whose tag equals torch remove. Make sure we get the tag right. Well, first of all, we'll get rid of a torch if there is one. So that gets rid of the torch and it gets rid of the light block. And then I'm going to copy all the beginning bit. And again, we'll execute as type equals marker, tag equals torch remove. We will run kill. Well, we're running twice there. We'll run kill any entity whose tag equals torch. So that'll kill the interaction entity, it will kill the block display entity, and it will kill the torch remove marker because they all have the tag torch on them. Done. So hopefully we can just now, let's put another one down. Hopefully we just, oh. Okay, first thing to do, I think we'll check. We've got our torch remove torch. Okay, so those are the tags. Let's have a look in here. Execute. Is it turned on? It is turned on. Type marker, tag equals torch remove. Set block air. Well, that won't do anything because there's no torch there at the moment. We can test that. Let's test that and see if that bit itself is working. That will narrow down the problems. So let's put that there and do a remove. Okay, so that bit worked. And let's have a look in here. Well, this should be the same. Marker, tag equals torch remove. Run, kill any entity, tag equals torch. Okay, I think we should probably put a distance there as well. But it's still, without a distance, I would expect it to kill all of them. Tag equals torch, distance equals less than 0.25, quarter of a block. Done. Wow, it's very strange. So we know it works for a torch. Womp. So we know it's setting there. So we know all the beginning bits right because we copied that. Kill any entity whose tag equals torch, distance equals 0 to 2.5. Well, do you have that tag? Data, get, entity. You have the tags torch. Oh my. Oh, I bet you saw this before and you were thinking, you idiot, look at that. It's not pointing into it. Sometimes, you know, it's the simplest things. There we go. Well, we did a bit of troubleshooting and it turns out the reason it wasn't working is because I'm an idiot. So let's turn that on. There, they've all gone now because the markers were still there. The markers weren't being killed. So we can put it on. Let's put 2 down and check. Yes, we do. Cool. Okay. That is what you call idiocy. Right. So we can place them. We can remove them. I think the first thing to do then now, actually we're going to add one more controller. We'll add a controller to destroy them if you've got a torch placed and the block underneath gets broken. Now, this is probably not going to be a problem in adventure mode because the player can't break the block and you'll just make sure nothing else can break it. So we'll keep this controller separate. Just controller. We'll call it check torch. And we're going to be using it later. Actually, let's do the main controller so we can turn the torch on. Then we'll be able to see this work. So let's do a controller main. Right, first thing I'm going to do, am I holding a flint and steel? So we'll execute at any entity whose type equals interaction, whose tag equals torch base. We will store success as a score for that interaction entity. Lit switch. Actually, no, lit click. We'll do lit click, sorry. Have we clicked on it? And we'll also store success entity at S. So storing success in the lit click score, and we're storing success in the entities interaction dot player. Clearly that's not a dot. Dot player UUID. We store it as an int with a scale of 0. Okay, and we're going to run this command on the target. Right, let's go through this. So we're executing as an interaction entity with a tag torch base. We're going to store the success of a next command in the score, lit click. So we're going to store a 0 or a 1 in there. We're also going to store the success of that next command in the entity's interaction player, so that will reset the interaction entity, because we're going to be scaling it by 0, and if you times anything by 0, the answer is 0, so we're storing a 0 in there. We're going to be now switch to running on the target. Now, I clicked on the interaction, so I am the target. Right, we're on target. If items entity S, and remember we're now executing on the target, or weapon is a flint and steel. So, if I'm holding a flint and steel, success, lit click becomes 1, and interaction becomes 0. If I'm not holding a flint and steel, lit click becomes 0, and interaction becomes 0. Cool. Okay, so this interaction player 0 is resetting the interaction. Right, so we've managed to store a 0 or a 1. That was a bit of effort, that one. Let's now do something depending on whether we've got a 0 or a 1. So let's execute. Do we want to execute at? We'll execute at type equals interaction, tag equals torch base, and I also want to check a score this time. Scores equals, and we'll check its lit click score. Lit click equals 1. So I did use a flint and steel. Then we'll run set block at those coordinates, a torch. So we've put a torch there. I'm going to copy that whole command. Done. So we've put a torch. I'm going to paste that whole command. I'm just going to get rid of everything there. So I just want that selected bit. Execute at. Now I want to change this to execute as. Well, this next bit won't work because I'm going to be targeting the passenger. So execute as the interaction, who has a lit click score of 1 because I used a flint and steel. We are going to store success as a score, lit switch. Okay. So is it changing state? That's what we're going to be remembering there. On the passengers, so I'm going to jump from the interaction entity to its passenger, which is the block display, and I'm going to run data modify entity add s to block display now, and I'm going to change its block state, and I'm going to set that to a value, and the value I'm going to set it to is its name. I'm going to change its name to Minecraft Air. Okay, so if we do manage to change it to Minecraft Air, the command was successful, and we'll store a 1 into lit switch. So the block state did change. If it was already air, then this will be unsuccessful, and we'll store a 0 in lit switch, meaning the block state didn't change. Okay, and now we can use that. We'll use that here to play a sound. So let's paste in that beginning bit again, and we'll remove. Right, so let's have a look at what we've got. Execute at. So at is fine for this one. We're just going to be playing a sound. Type equals interaction, yes. Tag equals torch base, yes. Lit click equals 1, yes. And also, we want to check 2 scores. So we'll also check lit switch equals 1. Did the torch change state? If it did, then we will run play a sound, item dot flint and steel, that's what, yeah, flint and steel, no spaces, dot use. Let's play it on the master channel, or you can play it in the block channel. We can play it in any channel you like, it's your choice. Master channel for all players at those coordinates. Normal volume of 1, pitch of 1, minimum volume of 0. Done. Now that should all be working, apart from we need to reset the lit click. Otherwise it'll run forever. So scoreboard, players, reset, any entity, type equals, interaction, tag equals, torch base. And we'll say scores equals lit click equals, well, it could be 0 or 1 because we might have used the flint and steel or not. So 0 or 1, and we'll reset their lit click score. Done. I have the feeling this should, fingers crossed, work. I'll need a flint and steel to test it with. So we haven't set up here. Everywhere says lit click equals 1, and to do that you need a flint and steel. So if I'm not using a flint and steel, nothing should happen at all. That seems good. If I am using a flint and steel, also nothing happens at all, which is fantastic. Okay, why does nothing happen when I click on it with a flint and steel? Let's check it's turned on, because that would be good. Well, we're not using that one yet. Okay, so what's this one doing? This is checking if I've got the item. Have we pressed the button? Just in case. No, it wasn't that. Fingers crossed, I was hoping it was that, but right. Scoreboard, objectives, sidebar. We'll set display sidebar, lit click. Now I don't think we'd see that because we're resetting it at the end. Let's try lit switch. Okay, neither of them seem to be doing anything at all. Execute at. This should probably say as. There we go. Execute as, because we're storing success score on S. That was a silly mistake. Is it just that? That looks good. It went on. Lit switch has changed because it did change state. If I click again with the flint and steel, no sound because it's not changing state. Okay, that looks all right. Can we now? And it's gone. Okay, that works. That was a silly mistake. Always be careful with your ats and your ases. Okay, right, now we can do this little check torch one. And we'll use a predicate. So let's execute at any entity. Type equals interaction, tag equals torch base, unless predicate, we're going to have a condition. The condition will be a Minecraft location check. Yeah, we're going to be checking the location. We have a comma, and we have predicate. And let's open and close that. Predicate will have, it's going to be a block check. Open and close. And I'm going to check a list of blocks. And it's a list of blocks, so there's probably square. And I'm going to check 1, 2. So I'm going to check for 2 types of block. I'm going to check for... Let's fix this mistake. So that blocks. There we go. Open speech marks, blocks, close speech marks, then we have our list. So I'm going to check for a Minecraft. What do we have? It's either going to be a torch there or Minecraft, and we put a light block there, didn't we, as well? Light. So if you don't find them, because we used unless, then run, kill, any entity, tag equals torch, and probably a distance. Distance equals less than 0.1. And we can remove that 0 if we want, less than 0.1. Done. Let's turn that on. Hey, that's not on. Let's turn that on. Right, so we've got a torch there. And now if I break this block, there we go. So, oh, there's a hole. The advantage of that being, if the block does break, we're not going to be leaving. So if I turn this off, we don't have that. And now the player breaks the torch, which they can't do in adventure mode. Well, we can't actually do it at all. There we go. So we can't do anything. Break the block, and it breaks. I think we've set up quite a few little things there. We've made ourselves the problem. We've left the little entity around, which we didn't want. There we go. So that is taking care of that. Oh, right, it's a long one. It's a long one. So we can light it. We cannot yet put it out. So, light. And that's because in here we're checking for lit click equals 1. So, let's turn this off. This is our reset. I'm going to take that block and chuck it over there for now. That's resetting the lit click. And let's remove it. Now let's deal with lit click being 0. I click without a flint and steel. Execute. Do we want as? Yeah, because I want to target the passenger. So we'll have to do as any entity. Type equals interaction. Tag equals torch base. This time those scores equals lit click equals 0. I don't have a flint and steel. At S on passengers run set block light level equals 0. Oh, do I need to do this on the passengers? I think we might come back and edit this command. Done. Okay. And then I want to, what do I want to do? I want to switch the block display back from air and set it back to an unlit redstone torch. So execute. I'll have to do as any entity. Type equals interaction. Tag equals torch base. Scores equals lit click equals 0. I didn't have a flint and steel. Store success as a score at S. Lit switch lit switch. Has it changed state on passengers? We are going to run data modify entity at S, because we're now running as the passenger. We're going to change its block state. We're going to set it to a value, and the value we're going to set it to is name, which is now going to be Minecraft redstone torch. It was air, we're changing it back, and we'll have to give it some properties, because remember we don't want it lit. Properties, which will be lit false. Okay, done. And I want to play a sound. Can I just copy that command? Let me get rid of all of this. Okay, execute. We want to play a sound now. So we execute at interaction torch base. Scores equals lit click, and also scores equals lit switch. The state did change. we will run play sound, block fire extinguish on the master channel or any channel you like at all players at those coordinates, volume, pitch, minimum volume. Done. Actually, I think I might. Do we want to maybe make that a bit quieter? I think I might make that a bit quieter because I think that's quite a loud sound. Let's take it down quite a bit. And now let's get our reset and put that back on the end. There's our reset back on the end. Okay, fingers crossed. We've lit it already. Let's use the flint and steel. Nothing's happening. Okay, flint and steel. Well, no flint and steel. Nothing happens. Flint and steel. We light it. Okay, flint and steel again. Nothing happens because it's already lit. And we can put it out. Okay, that seems to be working. Let's get rid of that scoreboard. Ooh-wee, this is a long one, I'm sorry. Right, okay, so we've got it so we can light it and we can put it out. Let's add some extra stuff. Why not? You can always watch it. I'll chapterize this to make it a bit easier. So we've got it working. Now, since we're here, I'm going to try and add a few more things. I know we shouldn't do things on the fly, but what the hey? Right, I'm going to see if we can light it with an arrow. So I'm going to make this as a separate controller just because it's a bit of fun. I'm going to get you out of the way and we'll put you over there. Right, let's have a separate controller. Now I'll just call it arrow. Okay, so we can't put it out with an arrow, we can light it with an arrow. So let's execute as any entity whose type equals interaction, whose tag equals torch base, okay, and itself, unless block is a torch, so it's already lit. If entity, so if there's an arrow, type equals arrow within a distance of, I don't know, let's say 0.6, but it has to be on fire. So MBT equals not. MBT doesn't equal a fire time of 1, and it's a short. Then we will run, tag the interaction entity, add light me. That'll do. Okay. So if a flaming arrow lands near it, we should get the tag light me. We'll make this one conditional. Let's execute as any entity, type equals interaction, tag equals light me at S. Well, I suppose we want to place a torch, so let's do that. Run set block at those coordinates, a torch. Okay, done. We have to modify the display as well. So let's copy the beginning of this command. Execute as type interaction, tag equals light me. I don't think we need to. Do we want to change whether it's lit or not? No, we're not going to play a sound. So let's keep it on. Passengers, run. What's my problem with run today? Data, modify, entity at S because we're now on the passenger, block the state, set the value, to air because we want to hide the unlit torch. So name Minecraft air. We're now hiding the torch. And then let's kill the arrow as well. Why not? Although it's got a big flaming arrow still there. Can we just paste that? Execute as. Yeah, in fact, I don't think we need as. We could probably change that to at. Because all we're going to do is run, kill, any entity, type equals arrow, distance equals, what did you say, 0.6 or 0.6 I think we said. And I don't know, let's put limit equals 1 on there as well. Done. And let's remove that tag as well. Tag type equals interaction, tag equals light me, remove light me. Okay, I feel relatively confident about that. I probably shouldn't. Let's get rid of all of this rubbish. Put you there, put you there. We're going to need a bow. We're going to need an arrow. Arrow can just go in there. Okay, we'll need to enchant this bow. Enchant me flame. Okay. Oh my! I can't believe it worked. we can light it with a bow and arrow. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's have. It'd be cool if you could do, Zelda style, light all the torches and something happens. But that's really simple unless the torches go out. If the torches go out, you're on a set timer. Let's add a timer to it as well. I bet we can do that. I'm sure we can. Right, let's have a little quick think. Right, I think so. We'll do this on a separate controller as well. I think probably you could integrate all of these together to make it a bit more efficient. But let's have a controller for timer. Okay, and I want. What do I want to do? I'll clear out my inventory first. If there is a torch. We need a new scoreboard. That's what we need. Let's go over here. Lit timer makes sense. There we go. Okay, if there is a torch there, let's add to its timer score. So let's execute as any entity whose type equals interaction, whose tag equals torch base. Yeah, that should be all right. We'd have to do @s as well because we need its location. If block is a torch, so if there is a torch there, then run scoreboard players, add to the interaction lit timer 1. So if there's a torch there, its time is going to go up. Done. Scoreboard, objectives, set display onto the sidebar, lit timer. Okay, let's turn it on. Whoop. Okay, right, that's definitely working. His score is going up. I suppose we just check that score. So execute as, yeah, we want to target the passenger, so we'll need as any entity type equals interaction, tag equals torch base, scores equals lit timer equals, let's say 100 for testing, 100 or higher. Then jump to its passenger, on passengers, run data modify entity at S. We want to change its block state, which we will set to a value, and the value we want to set, if we want to set it to air. No, we don't want to set it to air, do we? we want to set it back to a redstone torch. Yeah, so name should be Minecraft redstone torch, properties lit false, so that should set it back to a torch. Yeah, and we have to set, do we have to set the light level? Okay, let's get this beginning bit. Copy. Execute at type equals interaction, tag equals torch, base, scores equals lit timer. Yeah. Let's just try what we've got. Let's get rid of that for now. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so timer's still going up. Okay, we might have to change that because the torch is still there. Well, okay, so we need to get rid of the torch. So we'll take the torch off, and we were putting a light block there before, so let's do that. So let's put another one here. Execute at type equals interaction, tag equals torch base, scores equals lit timer. Yeah, and let's say it is as. Okay, do we need as? I think we just do at. Let's do at, and we will run set block torch. No, we want it to go out. Light level equals 0. So it's gone out. We've still got a torch there. I wonder why that doesn't get rid of the torch. Okay, let's put this a long one. What happens if we set that to air? There's a torch still there. You still there, torch? How are you still there? Lit timer 100, set block air. How are you still there? If I do that, you'll go, because we've got this check torch on. Is it just being naughty? Right, let's light it. Turn this on. Oh, that's why it was still there. Okay, that works. Right, did I not have that turned on before? Do we not even need this air one? Let's get a copy of that. Put it over there. And we'll take this one. So, what are we doing? We are changing the block state, and then... No, I don't want that. I did want this one. Let's do home. Sorry, this is what you get for doing things on the fly. Let's paste that in there. So set that to a light block. Light level equals 0. Done. Okay, let's light it. Oh now, see, now we've got a problem. We're going to have to do some fixing. I am adding 1 to its lit timer score, but its lit timer score is already over 100, so we need to reset that somewhere. So, in this main controller here, we are setting the block to a torch somewhere, aren't we? Where are we doing that? Flint, if we use a flint and steel here. Here we go. Set it to a torch. I reckon in here. So let's see what we're doing. We've got execute at. Right, I'm going to change that to as. Execute as interaction torch base score. Yeah, and we'll need to do then at s. But now we can target it itself. So let's do store. What do I want? Store success will do. Store success as a score for you into your lit timer. So when it does place a torch, it's going to store a 1 into lit timer. Okay, so now it's going to try and light it now. Perfect. Okay, that worked. And it goes out. Yeah, let's try bow and arrow. Right, now we've got the problem with bow and arrow. We missed that time. We're incrementing the score, but we're not resetting. So if we go into the bow and arrow, we'll do the same again, I think. So here where we're setting the torch, we'll change it to interact as. That's okay. At S, yes. And we'll store success as a score. At S, lit timer. Okay, now let's try the arrow again. Perfect. There we go. Great. Okay, so we could have got 3 of the torches around the place. We walk into the Zelda room. Let me get rid of that sidebar. Holy moly, doing things on the fly, and it actually worked out. That one's lit. That one's lit. That one's lit. And then they go out. Okay, and I think if you wanted to check if there was a torch there, pretty simple. You just do if block torch. Execute if block at those coordinates torch. I've been here too long, waffling too long. I think I've got to say goodbye. Thank you for GalSergey for helping me out with some of the commands. I did change a lot, all these new little bits here on the end. Anyway, it's going to give you an idea of what you can get up to. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much if you made it to the end. Well done. Go and get something to drink quick before you dehydrate. I will see you soon. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.